Welcome back to the Fish Cave, guys. Got a lot of cool updates to share with you today, including some brand new tanks I set up. I actually plumbed them into the central air system, so I'm going to show you guys how I did that. Believe it or not, a lot of the fish in here are wild caught. I've been doing a lot of collecting lately. You're going to see some of that on the channel coming up very soon, but I have some wild caught fish we're going to take a look at. I got some baby plecos growing out, our bichir, which we haven't taken a look at in a while. He's over here now, and I moved the clown loaches, all those baby clown loaches and the lupe, the lemon cichlids. They're over here in a new tank, so I want to share all that with you and more. So this is the new clown loach and the lupe tank. Believe it or not, there's 5 lupe and 11 clown loaches hiding in here. If you guys have been following for a while, you know that they were all set up in a 10-gallon quarantine tank at the very end of the countertop there. Well, I upgraded them into their own little 30-gallon long tank here not too long ago, and I think they've been enjoying it. It's still a pretty bare-bones tank, not their final home, but they've been putting on some size. Let's see if we can go around back here. I think there's a decent-sized guy. Of course, they're going to dart across, but I'm really enjoying these clown loaches. Like I said, they've kind of grown on me. Obviously, I've known about clown loaches for a long time, but having them here in the fish cave and kind of getting to enjoy them has been definitely a unique and enjoyable experience. But now that I got them here in this kind of tank that I can kind of walk around is nice too. They still hide quite a bit, but it's nice to be able to at least kind of see them from all different angles instead of tucked away in that corner in that tank that they were in. So definitely still very much enjoying the clown loaches and the lupe and just kind of growing them out. They put on a lot of size. Both of these are known to be, slow growers, especially the clown loaches, and the lupe put on quite a bit of size, and some of these clown loaches have, definitely more than doubled in size. So definitely looking forward to. I think I want to get these guys like a 75-gallon tank eventually in the next few months. So we'll definitely be upgrading them again. We spin over here to these 3 tanks. These are 3 10-gallon tanks that I picked up for free from Max. If you guys check that video out, we had a really awesome haul. And in this first tank here, we've got some of the Calico bristlenose babies. So there's quite a few fry in here. I don't have an exact count, but I just put some green beans in here not too long ago. We also have some red ram's horn snails, which are like in every one of my tanks, but also some green shrimp. These are they're more like brown or wild type shrimp. I went to the Tampa Bay Aquarium Society auction and picked up some green shrimp. There was like 12 or 15, and I kind of took out 3 that were more green. I'll show you those in a little bit, but I left kind of the culls of the culls in here. But I'm really excited. As you can see, the Bristlenose Plecos, they're not true super reds because they're already starting to get the spots, the calico in there, and typically I've noticed that as they've gotten older, they get a little more darker and darker, but some of these are staying fairly light for now. So we'll see as they grow, kind of how they turn out. But I like them because each one is very unique and their patterns are different. Whereas super reds are awesome, but they're always that burnt orange color. These guys, it's pretty neat because you have the different marbling and patterns of them. But everyone in this tank loves green beans. It's still one of my favorite foods. I mean, literally shrimp, snails, plecos, and even a lot of other fish will enjoy them too, including some African cichlids. In the next tank over here, this is pretty much all wild caught fish. There's a few guppies I have going on over here, but mostly actually these I think like a Variatus platy. I'm not exactly sure. They look like they were bought in the store and then probably released into the wild here. But we caught these. My friends and I went locally, collected and caught these guys. So it's just interesting to find what you can see here. I'm actually going to release that video here in the next few weeks, so definitely stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm going to be doing more of that kind of stuff. And down here you can see there's some shrimp. I'm not really sure. There's I think it's like a grass shrimp, but I'm going to see if I can't breed these guys out. They're almost translucent. You can kind of see them. There's two of them right now, kind of in the screen moving, but kind of excited to play around more with these. If you take a look back at the shrimp there's a buried one. I believe we actually caught that one. I think actually Corey from Aquarium Co-op when he was in town. He might have caught that one that's buried back there. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, with these platies or what have you in here, I doubt the baby shrimp would survive. But gonna start playing around, you know, a lot more with some of the native species, or not even native, but just maybe wild caught stuff. In this next 10-gallon over here, we've got a few little things. I got some ram's horn snails. Now I have a ton of the red ram's horn, and if you look at these are not true like blue leopard ram's horns, but they kind of look like it. They were spit from my reds, so I want to try to maybe make a line of these blue ram's horn snails. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I've been trying to find any kind of bluer ones. I just noticed them for the first time the other day, that I had any snails that looked, you know, kind of this blue. I've seen them before as like a blue leopard color, but I think it's cool looking. See if I can get it to focus here. Yeah, I think it's a cool looking snail, and I'll see if I can kind of, you know, grow out some more. That's a better shot right there. Kind of like that blue leopard pattern. But we'll see how that project goes. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. As far as the other fish in here, we just got some of these gambusia, or they call them mosquito fish, and I wanted to just grow these out, kind of keep them here. I may end up using these as feeders towards the you know, the big tank, Big Bert, the other guys in the 125 over here. I really don't feed them live food. I'm not big into that. But if it's something where I can, you know, breed my own live food and feed it to them, I would feel a lot more comfortable, because that is what I'm doing a lot with. We're going to get into some more of these tanks that I have set up. These are live food cultures, and I'm a big fan of feeding fish live food. I'm just not a big fan of, you know, going to the store and grabbing some potentially sick feeders and then throwing them in your tank for your big guys. So I'm going to look and see if I can't grow out some of these shrimp potentially to breed and feed to some of my larger fish, and then the same thing with maybe some of these gambusia as well. We'll see how that project works out. And for right now, we have the Bisher hanging out back there. He's grown. He's still fairly small, especially for a Bisher. I mean, we expect him to get to, you know, a nice big hot dog, maybe close to a foot, 8-9 inches, maybe a foot eventually. But he's growing out, doing fine. He's been getting a nice meaty diet, and I'm not sure if he's picked off any of these mosquito fish yet, but that's definitely a possibility. And, you know, if it happens, then, you know, it happens. Talking about some of the live cultures I have, a lot of you guys might have seen my video on California blackworms. I'm down to one culture. I broke down, there was a 5-gallon culture of blackworms I had here, that I broke that down a few months ago now, probably 2 months ago, 3 months ago now, in order to make way. I actually had these plecos were in there before I had these tanks, and this has just served as kind of like a hospital slash whatever for a while, where I've just been keeping the blackworms in the one tank. I want to expand again because I've been feeding them a lot to not necessarily these wild caught fish, but I have some more wild caught fish in some of the tanks in the rack system already that I'm going to be doing some videos on, showing you guys off. And I'm really kind of falling in love with some of those species, and some of them really need and prefer the live food. So that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of ramping up my my live food operations, and you may see some more you know, dedicated videos to those coming up in the future. As far as the blackworms, I'm hoping to do an update on those, and then I'm gonna get to some. I got a vinegar eel cultures going on. It's kind of a messy area right now because I just set up a grindleworm culture that I have in the house right now. That's why you see some of this. That's actually coconut fiber. That's my brine shrimp culture that I don't have operating right now because I knocked it over, which is one of the downfalls of using this DIY setup. This DIY setup has been doing, you know, great for me, but I did knock it over, so that's definitely a con. But I'm still planning on doing a video and showing you the pros and cons of you know, a DIY shrimp setup. And then currently in this 5-gallon tank, there is some of the more green shrimp. I don't know if we can see them in here. Like I said, there's only, I think, 2 or 3. There's a guy hiding right there behind the moss. Let's see if we can get over here. But these are some of the more greener shrimp. And like I said, I don't know what their exact strain is and, you know, what lineage they come from. I think they're kind of like a more of a wild type, because some of the other ones were more of this brownish wild type. And there's still a few more straggler plecos in there, because like I said, the plecos were hatched in there, and I brought them over here. Let me talk to you guys real quick about plumbing these tanks into the system. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, I have an air system that pumps air into all the tanks in the fish cave here, and I recently added this bar right here that goes across, and that's so I can, you know, drop lines from it. So I drilled a line and tapped into it to add a sponge filter to this tank, and this is my first time I've been using one of these kind of sponge filters with the weight on the bottom, and so far so good. It's only been operating out for, I don't know, a week or two tops, but you know, I like it. You know, this is still kind of like a quarantine basic tank setup, but so far so good. I think I like the suction cup ones better because they kind of hug against the wall and stay out of the way. But you know, it's been good, and you see here I put it on a manifold so I can add additional ones if I need to. And then similar over to here on these tanks, I use the sponge filters that I've been using, these little you know, just the dual sponge filters, and I plumb them into another manifold. I'm using all three, and this one's plumbed into the original line that I had, that the other tanks over here are plumbed into as well. So it's really easy once you get into it to kind of set up a system like this. And I definitely recommend that if you're going to expand into multiple tanks, that you definitely look into, you know, a larger pump and a closed loop system to kind of, you know, take care of your filtration needs with sponge filters. I want to do a quick shout out also to One Fish Two Fish. She sent me her sticker in the mail, really cool looking sticker. So big shout out to Elizabeth. If you guys aren't familiar with her channel, I'll link it in the description below. And if you guys have stickers, these are my some other stickers that I have from other YouTubers. Jadren Aquatics, who also makes a lot of these stickers. He made the stickers for me. Co-op, obviously. Madfish Diva, if you haven't checked her out, do so. And Mel over at the Hawaiian Peacock, also great guy, great channel. I'm definitely enjoying adding more to my collection. I'm not sure what I'm going to plan to do with them one day. Maybe, you know, put up a wall above this tank, I've been thinking, but I'm not sure. I just enjoy seeing people's, you know, stickers or creativity, and I think it's just something cool to do and share. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoy the new tanks. I'm really looking forward to, you know, expanding even more and getting some more of these kind of wild caught native and some non-native fish. Appreciate you guys watching to the end. As always, stay positive and stay passionate.